And there again is the family leaving Westminster Hall. It has been so quiet in there, and you could hear people sighing as they turned.
And what beautiful music filling that fantastic hall from the choir of Westminster Abbey and the choir of the Chapel Royal, St. James's Palace.
Charles thanking the Archbishop of Canterbury.
That's right. Who will also be presiding at the funeral of the Queen on Monday.
This is a point that marks a shift in this day. So as members of the family leave, there's King Charles and Queen Consort Camilla leave. They are, I believe, heading back to Buckingham Palace so that they can then go on a helicopter to Highgrove, which is, if the Queen's favorite place was Balmoral, Highgrove must be it for King Charles. It's been a lot of work for them. A lot of expectations for them since the Queen died, and it seems that the next just a day or so just to spend some time in a place they love. And as the Queen lies in state there now, you will see a number of people start to go through. Politicians will start to pay their respects, and only once that has happened will the doors open to the public. And as you were watching that service, what came to mind for you?
Well, just the tradition, Adrian, of the monarchy in this country. I mean, Westminster Hall was the only part of the Palace of Westminster, which contains the House of Commons and the House of Lords, the equivalent of our Senate. That part was destroyed in a fire in 1834, but not Westminster Hall. It was built by somebody called William II, son of William the Conqueror, who came from France, the last person to conquer Britain, and it was built in 1097. And those wonderful hammer beams in the ceilings that you saw were constructed by Richard II. It's got huge history. Charles I had his trial here. He was found guilty of not respecting Parliament and had his head chopped off in Whitehall, outside a building in Whitehall. We've had historic addresses in that room from Gorbachev, from Nelson Mandela, from Barack Obama, and a video link recently with President Zelensky from Ukraine. King Charles was addressing the joint sessions of Parliament on Monday in that magnificent hall.
As you speak, Anne, I'm just hearing a helicopter off to my left. What is happening there? I can see it now. It is landing. It is landing on the grounds of Buckingham Palace.
In the garden.
Right in the garden. So what is about to happen then is fairly soon King Charles's vehicle will return here to Buckingham Palace. They will go in and then he will depart via that helicopter right to Highgrove. So if it gets a little noisy in the next few minutes, that's what's happening. We will show you those pictures if we are able to. It's just slightly around the corner from where we are now, so I can't show you from this position, but we'll do our best. So you're looking in the on the screen there. That is, of course, the Queen lying in state. It's so still. Everything is so still. And Peter, as you were watching, so much of what you saw there would have meant so much more to you as a military historian than it did to some of the rest of us. Can you give us a sense from your perspective of what you saw?
Yes, so elements of this, of course, haven't been seen for 20 years since the Queen Mother was lying in state in the same place. But there's a lot of this that is planned, but whilst it looks very sort of regimented, a lot of this is actually happening for the first time and is incredibly significant. As you can see, the vigil has begun. You've got two members of each of the Blues and Royals and the Life Guards who are mounting the first. Those two gentlemen at the front of the sort of the pathway up to the catafalque and alongside as well. They're the Sovereign's bodyguard. So much as we saw the Royal Company of Archers providing the Sovereign's bodyguard in Scotland, these are the ones who are responsible for providing it in England. they are a very historic unit that goes back hundreds of years, in fact, to the time of Henry VIII, and they're the Honourable Corps of Gentlemen at Arms. They wear swan feathers, that's what those elaborate white plumes are, and they are there to provide the bodyguard obviously in death as well as they did in life. But one of the most interesting things I think we also saw was the way in which the coffin was carried in and was placed by the soldiers of the Queen's Company of the Grenadier Guards. Now, they will remain the Queen's Company of the Grenadier Guards. They'll keep that title until she's actually interred in St George's Chapel, at which point they will become the King's Company. So this really represents...
So just behind us here, you can see those pictures on your screen. The first vehicle carrying King Charles, flying the Royal Standard there, is just coming back around where we are now, Victoria Monument. There he is. And there is the Queen Consort behind him. And some other members of the family, I believe that's Prince William, Prince of Wales, and Princess of Wales, are heading back into Buckingham Palace. You'd have to presume they're going to spend some time together, but we know that not long now we will hear that helicopter leave for Highgrove, when we know that the family are sort of slightly